good evening, everybody. If you're watching after the fact, then please do feel free to skip forward ahead to qualifying, as I believe we're still getting the last few people into the, well, I've forgot my words, into the lobby, and I'm just setting up the rest of the stream and popping it in the Discord now. We'll see you in a moment. Oh, I lost that. There it is. Right, hello everybody. It's been a short while since I've been over here in Tier 1, but here I am once again. It's good to be back. Looks like we're getting ready and underway to go and do some racing this evening. It's lovely to have you all on board. Let me get the chat up so I can have a look. Hello Lifebout. No problem, Ghost, anytime, mate. And if I'm available, then I will make sure I am here. Goat, yes indeed. Austria does always deliver, in fact. It's one of my favourite circuits, and I will say good evening to everybody who is currently watching right now, the 4 people, and those of you who may be watching after the fact, and welcome back to the commentary box for tonight's dose of racing action. I'm Sumo, your commentator for this evening, and I'm very glad to be bringing you to Tier 1 action this evening. We find ourselves then in the Styrian Hills this evening for the 3rd round of the championship. Austria is home to a great circuit that is a favourite for a number of our drivers. 10 corners, 5 to the right, 5 to the left, see us on a lap around this 4.318km circuit that in the past has provided great racing. Tonight the drivers will not just battle one another, but the limits of the track, as Austria's track limits are notoriously harsh upon our drivers. This evening then, Rick goes into this round of the championship in the lead of the championship, but not by too much, as he's currently chased by Tier 2 champion Tinos, who is also, who alongside Ghost, MX and Vibes seek to claim the win over the youngster this evening and see themselves shoot up to the top of the championship standings. Red Bull lead by 3 points ahead of the Ferraris, who will be looking to try and outscore those blue cars this evening to claim the championship lead. But with Ace is seemingly not here, that might be a hard task. However, ISRL Hartmann, fresh off a win from Tier 2 this evening, is in the Ferrari car as a reserve this evening, so there might be some decent championship points heading in the ways of the Ferraris if their race can go well. The pairing of Rick and Jackalacco is a formidable one, and I'm sure that there will be a fight indeed. APPF1 Tier 1 is sponsored by High Dive Apparel, who are responsible for some awesome t-shirts, hoodies, beanies and much more. So please do go head over to their website, give them all the support you can, head over to highdiveapparel.com and go over to their socials as well, show them all the love and support you do over here on my channel as well. If you are watching the stream, make sure you've left a like, make sure you've subscribed to the channel if you haven't done already. But without that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves into qualifying. Dry to wet race at the end, says Ghost, so we could see some tough action for our drivers this evening. Only time will tell. It looks like the Alfa Romeos are going to be the first cars out on circuit. It's RJ Blair, so we're going to familiarise ourselves with the Austrian circuit, with the American driver who has definitely showed some pace, especially last season in Tier 2 where he got a few wins out here. I've not been watching a lot of the progress from Tier 1. I'll have to catch up in future races, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Just going to have a swig of my tea quickly. Righty, there we go. Weirdly, I don't have water this evening. I've got a Tango Ice Blast that is far too melted, so it's just water, well, more water now. Anyway, on goes RJ Blair down into that first corner. It's hard to get a decent braking zone there as the sun's in your eyes, and it's tricky to get on the exit. RJ, you see him sliding that rear end. This is turn 2, this little kink to the left here as he comes down to the braking zone of turn 3. Very tricky corner on exit. It looks like RJ's navigated it very well. It's all about the exit along that corner. Down the second of the 3 DRS straights on this circuit, down towards the sweeping right-hander of that is turn 4. That comes into my favourite section of this circuit, the transition from sector 2 to sector 3. You're going to go right quickly, and then you've got to throw the car left, be as committed as you can all the way out, get on that curb, use it all the way down to the next corner. You're committed once again, don't touch that inside curb or you're going for a spin. It's purple on the timing boards, but that's not going to matter as it's the first run of this qualifying session. The final 2 corners, committed as you like through here. Careful not to invalidate. This is the most notorious area for invalidations on this circuit. RJ's going to set the pace tonight with a 1 minute 4.1. That's a decent lap from the Alfa Romeo driver. Jacko's on an out lap, so it's going to be Lifebout, the other Alfa Romeo, coming to set a lap time. These two did really well in Tier 2 last season and were battling against one another. It looks like Tinos is about to go start a lap. Let's see, is that Slippy Jimmy? No, that's going to be Demoniac. No, Ghost on an out lap, I think. Yes, he is. And finding the next guy on a lap. It looks like it's going to be Joachim. I'm not sure who's new to Tier 1. I'll have to look that up for you in between sessions. But Joachim with a slow lap, that's not going to be his best this evening. Mediums for Ice Queen Taylor as he comes across the line. So 1 minute 4, that's fairly competitive to go P2 on the medium tyre. How about Slippy Jimmy in the Williams? Let's see, a 1 minute 4.6. So RJ well ahead with a 5/10 gap. Is that MX about to cross the line? It is. Previous 2-time Tier 1 winner, and he goes in the 1 minute 4.2s. So slightly slower than RJ Blair then in the Alfa Romeo, but I'm sure the German will improve this lap time. My sprint teammate then, Jackalacco the Scotsman, looking like a fast lap for him. It's a 1 minute 4.1. He's 0.03 of a second away from that Alfa Romeo just behind him. How about Tinos on the medium tyres? He's the Tier 2 champion, currently reigning over in Tier 1 now. He's 1 minute 4.4. Who's next across the line? That's the Dane with 1 minute 4.9. I'll try and catch them as they come across the line if I can, as Ghost sets a 1 minute 4.1. Sorry, it's been a while since I've commentated on my own, but I'll get used to it. How about Joachim? An 11-second improvement from the Mercedes driver. Only good enough for 9th place at the moment. We'll wait and see. I think Rick's out on a lap. How about Hartman? Hartman's about on an out lap, so we'll wait and see what he can do. I think Rick is going to be the next across the line in terms of drivers on a lap time. They're our championship leader. Let's go get off the offboards so we can see the cars in all their glory as they come around this amazing circuit in the Styrian Hills. These are the first ones just coming to an end now. Rick coming through the final 2 corners, committed as you like through there. It's easy to spin, it's easy to invalidate in those final couple of corners, but Rick seems to have navigated them well. This could be a fast lap from the Dutchman. It's not quite. So 1 minute 4.4, it's definitely a decent benchmark time, and it's definitely time to be found there. I think we might see ourselves getting into the 1 minute freeze this evening as we progress further. I think Hartman's had an issue on his lap. Demoniac has invalidated. I think the first driver I've seen to do so. Let's see, Hartman coming through sector 2 now. We'll see what his time's like. Okay, this could be a decent lap from the Ferrari then. He's on the soft tyre as opposed to his teammate who's on the mediums as the Mercedes goes over to the right hand side to clear the way for the car, the Scarlet number 67 car. That is Hartman who's coming along fresh off the win from Tier 2, and this could be a decent lap from the American. It's not too bad. There could be some improvement there, but there's plenty of time left in this session to do that. Demoniac's going again. Womax is on a lap as well. I think Demoniac will cross the line first. He's on slightly rubbered in medium tyres now, so they're not going to give him the best grip. We'll keep an eye on the other drivers as well. I think Ghost, actually, I've actually missed that. Ghost has set a fastest lap time out there. I've completely missed. He's a 1 minute 1.111. so he takes provisional pole then for the moment, but the session is nowhere near done yet. We've got 11 minutes left to go. Let's watch Demoniac. He's coming through the final corner now on those medium tyres. Is it a good lap? It's P10 on the mediums. Not the best lap he could do. He'll definitely want to try and go faster than that if he can. How about Womack's in the Alpha Tower? He goes to teammate. He's going to come across the line. This is the Bulgarian driver. I nearly said Hungarian. It's a 1 minute 4.7. Not too bad from Womack's. We've got Eat My Dust is the last driver to set down the lap time. Eat My Dust is fairly quick. So I have had I can't remember. It's been a while since I've been here at Tier 1. So people are going to have to remind me in the chat, those of you who caught the race last week. I hear we had a new commentator last week who did a fairly decent job, from what I hear, so thanks for him for stepping in, and well done. It's a hard task stepping in and being a commentator for an evening, but it's always a lot of fun. Not too fast then from Eat My Dust, but I'm sure he'll find the time to improve. Let's see who else we've got out on the circuit at the moment. I think drivers are coming around for their second runs now. RJ's on a hot lap. Lifebout's gone out on the mediums. He's coming along. He's 1.4 seconds up, so this could be a good lap time from the Alfa Romeo. It is. It's into the 1 minute 3. It's a 1 minute 3.9 on the medium tyre. What a lap from Lifebout. Really setting down the gauntlet. He could be one to watch this evening as he invalidates his cool down lap. What a lap time. Well done, Lifebout. The other Dutchman in the lobby this evening. It's the MX coming out to start a lap time. Jackalako is starting a lap time as well. Let's see, Eat My Dust is coming round. Is he on a cooldown lap or is he going again? He is going again. He's 1.5 seconds up, so it was a scruffy lap the first time around. Let's see if he can set down a better lap this time. It's going to be a 1 minute 4.5. Puts him firmly in the top 10. Sat in P8 for the moment. I think Ghost is coming round to start his hot lap. So let's ride on board with Ice Queen Taylor in the Mercedes, coming through sector 3 now. It's a purple sector 2 as he invalidates at turn 8. That is a shame for the Mercedes. It looked like he could have been on a decent lap time there, but that's going to be deleted and he's going to have to go again. How about Zidane looking to get himself into the top 10? He's 1/10 up now. That's surely an invalidation. If not, he cuts across the grass into the pit lane. Wanting to abandon that lap. The stewards might have a look at that a little bit later, but perhaps not. Let's see if I can't find anyone else. I think MX is about to set a lap. He's 2/10 up. This could see him shoot into provisional pole. It's not quite the improvement he wanted. I think he may have had an issue in sector 3, so he's only improved by 0.08 of a second. That isn't the lap time that he was looking for. Was the Williams driver, so he'll be definitely trying out. I really can't speak this evening. They'll definitely be coming out once again to set another lap time. I think a lot of the drivers who did come out for laps have invalidated, but Ghost has had an issue. He's 11 seconds down on this lap, so I think he'll be conserving those tyres and that battery life to go again. Let's see if I can't find anybody on a lap for you guys. I think Tinoz is on a lap. Is Slippy Jimmy on a lap? Slippy Jimmy is on a lap. So a rideable with Slippy Jimmy as he'll cross the line before Tinoz. Coming through sector 2, we're waiting for him to get to that sector 2 line that transitions over into sector 3. We'll see what the lap time is, if it's any good for the Williams driver. It's 2/10 up. It's not going to see him take provisional pole perhaps, but it is an improvement on his previous. He has a little wobble there from the rear end of the car, getting a little bit unsettled as he comes through turn 8, coming through the final couple of corners now, down to the straight, and he's invalidated. So easy to do in that final sector. That is a shame for Slippy Jimmy. That could have been an improvement. 3/10 up for the current Tier 2 championship winner, and he has invalidated his lap time as well. So the car number 93 will have to come out and go around the circuit once again. Let's have a look a bit further down. Joachim invalidated his lap. That's not great. Austria is very, very notorious for track limits. There's our championship leader then. He's down in 7th at the moment. Not the strongest lap from Rick. He is a very fast driver when he wants to be. And he'll definitely be challenging for pole position in this qualifying session. And even the race win, he's 0.3 of a second up on his previous best. It's not going to see him get close to the likes of Lifebout, who has put in a godly lap on the medium tyres. And if he comes out, which I think he has, come out on the... Did he set that lap on medium tyres? Maybe on soft tyres? Maybe he did. I know, I didn't quite see. He must have. It's saying he has. But it's a 0.2 improvement for Rick, and he only goes up to P6 as RJ, what was it, Ghost improved, Sue improved, MX improved, 1 minute 3.9. So the second driver to get into the 1 minute freeze in this qualifying session, but he's still quite a ways away from Lifebout, who's 4/100ths of a second ahead of his nearest rival. Is that Womack starting a lap? It is. Let's see if we can't find anybody else. Lots of people struggling with track limits as we get into the dying stages of this qualifying session. The Scotsman, Jackalacco, coming out for a lap. The other Red Bull. These two looking to run away a little bit with the championship lead. Ghost is just behind him as well. So we'll keep an eye on this. These are probably... second or maybe last runs. We've got 5 minutes left. It's a very short lap around here as it looks like Jackalacco's at a spin. That is a shame for the Red Bull driver. I don't know if he's got any damage on that Red Bull car. I can't quite see. We'll see on this offboard shot. It doesn't look like it, but those tyres aren't going to be too thankful for that little mistake from the Scotsman. Who'll be looking to rectify that. Ice Cream Taylor in a Mercedes coming across the line now. This is a better lap, I think. Gets a 1 minute 4.5, improves him slightly ahead of Eat My Dust, who is dropped down to P9 at the moment. Here comes Womack, he's the 10th up. Womack can be very quick as well. We might see himself get into the fringes of the top 10. He does, into P10 by 1,000th of a second. That is so tight. That last place in the top 10. As RJ Blair has retired from the session, he's crashed at turn 1. Let's see if I can see the stricken Alfa Romeo. There it is. It looks like he's given it a bit too much on the exit of the pit lane, perhaps, and has found himself in the wall. That is a shame. Jackalacco knows that pain very well, but fortunately Jacko managed to complete the lap. Ghost has invalidated a lap time. He's gone slightly faster, but he's just on the fringes of the 1 minute freeze and 1 minute 4.005. It's a very fast lap time indeed. These guys really throwing down the gauntlet. I wonder if any we'll have a look and see if there's any track records or lap records that have been broken after this qualifying session. That's Slippy Jimmy coming across the line to start a hot lap. We'll see how it goes. Lifebout, yeah, Lifebout. What a lap from Lifebout. It must be a glitch or maybe just poor timing or something. I don't know. Maybe we could look in the race director while there's not too much going on. I'll just make sure those Ferraris aren't on laps. No, we'll quickly have a look at the race director. Lifebout. Yes, he hasn't come out. That was definitely on mediums. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah, it was. 1 minute 3. There it is. It's on mediums. What a lap. If I was Lifebout, I would not be coming back out. I'd stay in the pit lane. Although somebody could get close. He is out on a lap there. He is coming out then. It is Lifebout, the other Dutchman. Currently the fastest man on track on a medium compound tyre. Insane lap time. But I think he might want to go even faster. And certainly we've got a great Tier 1 driver on our hands. The man was sat in Tier 2 for a couple of seasons and just got better and better and better. And we've seen him bloom into this incredible racing driver who on his day is a spectacle to watch. And he'll be looking to cement his place at the front of the grid this evening. Let's watch Tinoz. Tinoz has started a lap. How about Hartman? Is Hartman on a lap? No, he's invalidated. Let's try and find somebody else on a lap time. Is that Slippy Jimmy? No, it's not. Is it Demoniac? No, it was MX starting a lap time then. Lifebout as well. So MX has started his. I think Demoniac's about to start his. No, I think that's the... there's so many blue cars. It's so hard to tell which ones are what. That's definitely a Red Bull. That's Rick there. Is it MX first across the line? No, it will be Slippy Jimmy, I believe. Yes, it is. So let's watch Slippy Jimmy. And they'll be followed by Tinoz, I believe, in the Ferrari. Let's see Slippy Jimmy. This is looking like a decent lap time from the Williams. It is. He's going to put him up into 7th. It's a 1/10 improvement. It looked like it was even. It's very, very close between everybody in this session. Tinoz then not able to find any improvement. He'll be looking to go again. No improvement from the Mercedes drivers either. Ghost is not on a lap. He's on an out lap right now. Is that Rick or Jacko? That's Rick coming across the line. I'm trying to find the drivers on laps. It's MX then. He's way down on his time. There's going to be no improvement for the German unless he's found it in the final sector. No, he hasn't. That's going to be a poor lap from the German-Canadian, which is a shame for him. There'll be no improvement on that particular occasion. How about Demoniac's Demoniac up by 0.2 of a second. Not enough to see him improve any positions. Here comes the Scotsman, a 10th up, and he puts himself into 3rd place. It's a 1 minute 9.80. Still, no one able to get close to too close to Lifebout. MX and Jacko are close, but in Formula 1 terms, 100th of a second is quite a lot of time. But here comes Tinoz, and he's not going to be able to do enough. He's way down his time as well. How about the Mercedes duo? Ice Queen Taylor puts himself into P6. That's a good lap from the Mercedes. Ghost is on a lap as well. He's in a slight improvement as Rick goes into the 1 minute 3.8 on the soft tyres there, on the Red Bull soft compound tyre with the most grip at the moment. Lifebout's 0.03 of a second up, but it's not going to be enough as MX goes into the 1 minute 3.7s. A great lap from the Williams then. It's a shootout for pole position. Now then, as Lifebout has seen himself plummet down 2 places. Who else can challenge him? Ghost needs to find some time in this final sector to try and get himself in contention for even the second row here. It's going to be a tight one as Ghost comes across the line. No improvement from the British driver, so he's going to stay down on the 3rd row in P5 for this qualifying session, as qualifying is now over. I'm not sure who else is out on a lap right now. Hartman, no. How about Tinoz? Is Tinoz on a lap? Tinoz was on a lap. He was the 10th up, but it's no improvement as Tinoz sits down in P10, so I think that's going to be our qualifying session done and dusted, perhaps, unless Rick is on another lap. No, he's coming in. How about anybody else? I think everybody is done. I think that's going to be it, but wow, some great lap times there from our Tier 1 drivers. And Lifebout, remember, he set that lap on mediums. I'm just going to triple check that he actually did set it on the medium tyre. Oh no, he did come out and set another one. But he pulled out, he invalidated. So yeah, you've got to watch out for Lifebout in this race, because he will be starting on the medium compound tyre. He may fall down the order as everybody else has set laps on the softs, but strategy-wise, he could go very aggressive with the way he plays the strategy. Ran out of fuel, that is a shame. That happens sometimes. You think you've put in just enough fuel, but you've actually used way more than you ever intended to. But let's go over to the lap records section of our Discord, and we can try and have a look if I can even find it. Here we go, lap records, qualifying. Let's see, Austria. Wow, no chance. So the lap record is a 1 minute 3.530, and the fastest lap here was a 1 minute 3.710. So that was set by none other than Koru in the Aston Martin last season here. But anyway, MX takes pole position then with a 1 minute 3.7 after a thrilling qualifying session. All of the top 8 drivers within 0.5 of a second of each other. That's incredible. Rick joins him on the front row then, with Lifebout and Jackalacco lining up alongside. A good showing for Red Bull this evening. Ghost in the Alpha Tauri lines up in P5 with the American RJ Blade crashing mid-qualifying, not able to try and improve himself up even further. Slippy Jimmy and Ice Queen Taylor are next, with FRL Demoniac and Tinoz. Womax, Zidane, Eat My Dust, Hartman, and Joachim. I hope I'm saying that right. in making up the back end of the grid. We should be in for quite a thrilling race then this evening, as look at these lap times, it's incredible. So close. Look here, 200ths of a second between Jacko and Ghost. We got about 100th of a second between RJ and Slippy. Wow, incredible stuff. Incredible, incredible. This is why I love Tier 1. I mean, I do love Tier 2 just as much. I started there, but Tier 1 is always great to commentate on. Whew. I feel like I said I was going to do something in between thingies for you guys, but I can't remember exactly what that was. Maybe it was look at lap records. I can't quite remember. But anyway, we're on the warm-up now. We're just waiting for players to load into the session. We're waiting for good old Codemasters. It would be the last Tier 1 season of F1 2021, as in about... Oh, what's the day today? It's Friday. So in about 4 weeks and 4 days will be the release of the new F1 game, although it'll be 4 weeks and a day if you've pre-ordered the game, which I think you can't do now. I think that's done now. If you want to get it early, well, you need to travel back in time, I'm afraid. I think as the cut-off point was the 16th of this month, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, if they do know and are in the live chat right now. But MX is going to lead the drivers around then. MX is a incredibly fast driver. He's very aggressive, and he usually gets great starts off the line, so do expect to see him fly away from the rest of the pack. Rick, though, is well, just like Max Verstappen, whose car he is driving in this evening, is an incredibly audacious driver. Loves a battle, loves to be aggressive, and is leading a championship for that very reason. Lifebout as well, man of Tier 2 fame. Of course, we've seen him, me and Ghost have seen him progress as a racer, and I think he could definitely see himself on the podium this evening. Jackalacco as well, incredible driver. My teammate, of course, for sprints. He's got some wins under his belt. Perfect number 2 for Rick, and I think he's definitely within a shout for a good result this evening. Ghost, 4-time sprint champion. You can't knock the man for his accolades, but Tier 1 has never been his strong suit. He's my co-commentator as well, so I will be cheering him on for that. But as a commentator, I must be impartial. So unless it's Pommy Alex, then I'm sorry. RJ, of course, the American, very quick driver, loves a scrap, and the rest of these guys over in Tier 1, Slippy Jimmy, known for a good bit of scrapping. I've not seen a lot from the rest of these guys. Demoniac, very good. Tinoz, of course, Tier 2 champion, very consistent driver. But anyway, we're lining up on the grid then. I'm going to stop rambling on about the drivers, and we're going to get ready to go racing. Those green flags are waving. We're just waiting for the lights. We're going to follow along with Rick to try and get the best angle possible coming down into turn 1. It's a short run then. But anyway, it's 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix here in Tier 1. And they're away as it looks like Lifebout has got an incredible start on those mediums. He's challenging MX already. Rick's on his inside. Lifebout trying to find a way through, but he's not going to, as MX runs fairly wide. They're going to go 2 by 2 while they down. No, MX gets a decent run, and Lifebout has actually got a better run on that corner. Rick a little bit compromised following MX through. They're going to go down into turn 3. Oh, it's a little bit tight there, but I think Lifebout's just got it. Ghost loses the rear end as he goes wheel to wheel with Jackalacco in the Red Bull, and I think the Red Bull has just seen him off for the moment. But Lifeboat, an incredible start on those medium tyres as Rick looks to the inside of the Alfa Romeo. They're going to go wheel to wheel, are they? No, as Ghost gets the better of Jack Kalaka, who loses out of place to RJ Blair. It's some very incredible stuff. It's Red Bull versus Alfa Romeo versus Ghost, and MX has just kind of run away and sat behind. But this is an incredible start for the drivers. What a battle we've got on our hands here, I think. A little bit further down, Demoniac's trying to make some places up. We'll have a look. We'll switch to places gained on the opening lap. 5 places gained for the Mercedes of Joachim. What a great start for him. I think we might have had a little bit of carnage a bit further back as MX leads from the start of this race, and Ghost is already making headway as he goes wheel to wheel with Rick through turn 1, and he gets the better of the Dutchman. The Dutchman dropping 2 positions off the start. Ghost and Lifeboat having incredible starts of this race, and it's looking like we've got a 6-car fight for the leaders. Down the inside goes RJ Blair to turn 3 on the Red Bull of Rick. It's not Red Bull's day here at the Red Bull Ring as RJ Blair's looking to get through, and I think he has, but Rick's going to try and go all the way around the outside through turn 4, as he know. RJ covers him off and makes sure he can't make that move, and he's going to make that Red Bull sit behind him. Tinos gets up past the Alpine of Demoniac a little bit further back. He's made some progress in this race, and he'll be looking to go even further forward, especially if they're going to bring the fight to Red Bull this evening. That was a lot of talking there in a short space of time. I think things have calmed down just a little bit now as in the race, but RJ getting very close to the back of Ghost. He's hurrying him along. He's saying, come on pal, get a move on, or I'm going to overtake. And I think he want to do the latter rather than the former of those 2 options. DRS is now enabled on the 3rd lap of this race. We're on lap 3 of 36. We've got a long way to go in this Grand Prix. Let's switch over to tyres now, then we'll be keeping an eye on the strategies from this point in as Jacko goes up ahead of his teammate, whether that was team orders or an actual bit of fighting between the Red Bulls, who knows. We'll see what happens as Jack Kalaka looks to close in, but Lifeboat doing an incredible job. He's keeping MX completely honest. He must really love this circuit. I know he's always gone well here in his time with us in Tier 2, and he's showing everybody how it's done here on the medium tyre. Looking back, I think Ice Queen Taylor and Zidane have had to make unplanned pit stops. That's a shame for them. They may have had some damage. They're way further down the order than they were hoping to be on the start of this race. Eat My Dust and Womax and Tinos have all started on the medium tyres. Of course, I believe they all started outside the top 10, as the fastest lap has just changed hands between the top 5 as each of them set the fastest lap one after the other. And MX has got all to do as Lifeboat is opening up that DRS. He may look for a move into turn 3 here. MX covers off the inside. He goes defensive, forces Lifeboat around the long way, and that opens the door for Ghost, who has a little look through, but he's not quite going to get it at the moment. It's very hard to go up the inside and get the better traction on that corner. And Ghost is now having to look behind him as the other Alfa Romeo is looking to get involved in this fight as well. RJ trying to go around the outside of turn 4. Not going to have it this time. It's very tight racing between this lot. This is going to be an incredible Tier 1 race. One for the record books, I think, to watch back. There'll be action all over as Ice Queen Taylor gets past the McLaren of Eat My Dust. Couldn't quite see that move play out at the moment because we're so enthralled with this battle at the front here as Lifeboat and RJ go toe-to-toe with the 4-time sprint champion Ghost, who is not giving up at all in this fight here. It's a DRS train all the way down to P11. This is great stuff. Everybody's in for a slice of the pie this evening, and let's hope no safety cars break up the action as Joachim gets the first 3-second time penalty of this session then. As Lifeboat looks to go on the attack again, MS continuing to force him the long way round, looks to open the door up a little bit for Ghost, who gets very close to the back of that Alfa Romeo, but not quite going to get the move done there. Lifeboat is just staying with MX. He's on a different strategy to these guys, and he's doing an incredible job. First of all, to get ahead of them, but secondly, to stay with them. Jack Kalaka has made a place up. He's got ahead of RJ Blair. I think that was at turn 4. I just missed that. I was watching, riding on board with Lifeboat. We'll try and keep an eye on the action as it happens for you. Rick's going to be the next to get past. He's a big loser on this lap. He started P2, remember. and has dropped way down the order to P6. That's 4 places for the young Dutchman. He'll be looking to make up some ground in this race, but he'll have to be careful. Any mistakes and he'll become vulnerable to the cars behind him. It's going to be a very risky decision to make any moves. Look how close he is to the back of that Alfa Romeo into the braking zone of turn 1 there. I think we'll go back to the front as Lifeboat's going up the inside this time. He's got the run on MX and he's going to get him before in the braking zone. He's going to take the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix as MX has got very little he can do about it, but I think he's going to try and come back. RJ and Rick have had a little tangle, but nothing comes of it as MX goes up the inside. He's going to force Lifeboat the long way round and say, you're not coming past me without a fight, buddy, and gets back in the lead of this race for the moment. 2 changes in the lead and Ghost is still sat there behind in prime position. He's watching, he's waiting, he wants these guys to use more of their battery, but these all know how to save battery, although MX is struggling a little bit compared to the others. ERS usage and saving is so key when it comes to having decent success in the Formula 1 race, as it determines how much power your engine has and how much you can really attack with as Lifeboat getting close again, but turn 1's not the best place to overtake as this straight down towards turn 3 is incredibly long. Lifeboat on the attack again, and Ghost is going to follow him through as well. Around the outside, Jackalacco lurks in the background. Ghost forced the long way round, and that opens the door for Jackalacco, who gets a great run through turn 3, and they're going 2 by 2 down towards turn 4. Incredible stuff. MX looking to challenge for the lead. Jacko challenging for P3 as well. This is great stuff. 4 cars all so close together. What incredible racing from these guys here in Tier 1, and it's no contact at all. Ghost and Jacko still going at it, and Ghost gets the better. They don't change all that much, but MX does get back ahead of the Alfa Romeo. This is incredible stuff to watch, and they must be having so much fun in those cars at the moment. What an incredible race to watch. Rick has got past RJ. It must have been a little bit further down the lap, but we've been watching this for so long now. I just can't take my eyes off it as Lifeboat is doing a great job. He's really hustling MX. He's really trying to get him to make a move or get a move on, and it will only get even worse as the tyres degrade over time. Lifeboat with that DRS going through. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Lifeboat gets the position. Ghost gets up ahead of MX. Jacko's going to jump them both. They're going to go 3 wide all the way down to turn 4. Wait, this is so close between the two of them. How have they not made serious contact yet? I don't know. Jackalacco down the inside. He goes incredibly deep, and Lifeboat comes back at him, but I think Jacko manages to hold it on. What an incredible move for the lead from the Red Bull driver. Great stuff from the Scotsman as he jumps all of these guys as they fight amongst one another. Wow. I've got the biggest grin on my face right now. Those of you who are missing out on watching this race live are really missing out on something. They're going to have a lot of fun watching this back later on this evening as it calms down. Still 11 cars in this DRS train, and I've not been really covering a lot of the action further back because it's all going on at the front. This championship fight is one to remember, and this is one way to see out the game again as Hartmann and Joachim are seeming to have a little battle down towards the rear end of this DRS train. Slippy Jimmy and RJ going wheel to wheel as well. Looks like RJ gets the better of the Williams this time as he tries to progress up the field and get involved in this action just up ahead. They're so close together. Joachim and Hartmann again going wheel to wheel. Joachim goes up ahead of the Ferrari once more. Hartmann doing a great job out here. They're looking to go wheel to wheel into turn 6. Surely not. That's not going to go too well, I think, but look at how close Hartmann gets as he comes through the exit there. Look how close they all are. Lapping Eat My Dust already, I believe, which is unfortunate for him. I think that early incident has really hampered his race, and there's just action all the way along the grid, and I'm sure the likes of Womack's, Ice Queen Zidane and Eat My Dust are all Really disappointed to be missing out on it, but one safety car and it could all start once again. Rick and RJ getting themselves time penalties, the track limits starting to rear their ugly head here at the Austrian Grand Prix, but everybody's doing an incredible job right now. A Slippy Jimmy goes up the inside of RJ Blair. This is for P6. The Williams gets ahead of the Alfa Romeo, who's going to come right back at him with DRS, but the Williams will have DRS too, so it's a drag race to the line. Slippy Jimmy, way more ERS in the tank to use as Lifeboat has made a move for the lead. Is that contact? No, it didn't look like it, but Jacko has had to back out of a move there. I'm not exactly sure what happened on. Maybe there was contact between the two of them as they came out of turn 4, but Lifeboat's found himself in the lead and Jacko has dropped back all those places he gained in that incredible dive up the inside. I really do need a safety car now. You guys have not given me a lot of time to breathe, but this has been incredible racing, and we're only 10 laps in as well. There's a lot of shuffling on as Demoniac dives into the pit lane, first of the drivers to do so, as Tinos gets up ahead of RJ, who drops another position. He's really struggling on those soft tyres then. I think the soft tyres will start getting into a poor window of performance right now. MX looking to go on the attack, as you know, he gets very, he gets very, very close to the back of that Alfa Romeo. But no move yet. Jack Halako looking to make up that lost ground he lost in that last, on that last lap. If you guys are enjoying this race, please do put a big like on the stream. It is an incredible race to behold at the moment, and I'm so glad that I could bring it to you guys. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, and go check out our sponsor, High Dive Apparel, as we take that small moment to remind you guys of all the things you can do to help support not only the channel but our channel affiliates and community affiliates, I suppose. But anyway, we carry on then as Joachim has now come into the pit lane as well. Oh, MX making a move for the lead of the race. Lifeboats are going to cover him off. Ghost looking for a way through as well. This helicopter shot's great as Jack Halako gets the better run on Ghost and gets up ahead of the Alpha Tauri. And he's going to be on the defensive as Ghost is looking to come back at him. He does. Up the inside goes the Alpha Tauri. Doing well to not hit the back of that Williams. Right up the inside. Forces Jack Halako wide and takes P3 back from the Scotsman. Great racing between the two of them, and it's been great racing this whole time between the whole field now, as pit stops are going to start coming into play very soon. And I think I'm starting to see that the sun has gone in, so that rain could be a lot closer than I had first anticipated, as MX is going to peel into the pit lane, presumably for some fresh medium tyres. So the first of the top 5 then, who have been in this intense battle the whole time, to come in. Rick has followed him in too. Let's see here, mediums for the Red Bull, mediums for the Williams as well. We'll head to the front then. Lifeboat has opened himself up a lead. This is where it starts to get a little bit dangerous, as Lifeboat on that different strategy. He's opened up the gap. He's got better tyre life at the moment than his rivals around him. Tinnels is probably the only other driver who can give RJ a hard time. Speaking of hard times, Jack Halako looking to go round the outside of Ghost. Not quite going to work. Looks to go for the switchback, but doesn't quite get it. There's a spin further back. That's or a slow car even. I think Ice Cream Turner had a little spin at turn 1 there. Thankfully still going and in this race for the moment. But as I was saying, Lifebout on that different strategy, but Tinnels has done very well to get himself in the position he is. I mean, I know people have come in, but he could definitely see himself up there, especially being on such an aggressive strategy. Ghost and Jacko now into the pit lane, medium tyres for the two of them, I presume. However, the one nail in the coffin is this rain could be around the corner. Those clouds have certainly darkened up very, very quickly in a short space of time. Speaking of, anyway, Tinos goes around the outside. We'll get back to that point later as he gets up ahead of Slippy Jimmy and takes the provisional P2 for the moment. As where have Rick and MX come out? Ghost and Jacko actually come out behind Demoniac, and Ghost and Jacko continue this fight. And Jacko's going to get all the way around the outside of Ghost. A little bit of contact there from the two, I think, but nothing too major. They're still able to carry on unfazed. Jackalaka, who's really got some pace this evening around here. Rick and MX as well, wheel to wheel through turn 4. The sun's come back out then, so that rain probably not as close as I thought. It's very hard to tell when you're not one of the drivers in this game and aren't clued into all of the information. I wish there'd be like a few more options for commentary, like you could pop up like weather report for the moment. You know, like you don't get a lot of information, but you get what perhaps the commentators would have access to in real life. I think that would be cool, because I think commentary on these games is just as an important part of the game as the racing is as well, and it's definitely prominent within the esports world, and making things easier in the game would be great. As Rick and MX still going toe to toe, neither of them have DRS, which is interesting. Perhaps they were just so close to one another the previous time. Is there some movement going on? There is. Jackalaka and Ghost find their way past Demoniac so that they may continue their battle and chase down MX and Rick. So this is the top 5 here. These 4 cars, P5 to 8 at the moment. They're all still fighting one another, although Rick and MX are the undercutters. Rick looks for a way up the inside of turn 6. That's definitely a risky place to make a move there, but it's certainly doable. And Slippy Jimmy now peels into the pit lane, and he'll definitely come out behind this train of cars here, as they've all broken up a little bit, but there's these individual little battles going on, which is certainly going to provide some great entertainment for all of you guys. Passes up for Jacko. Rick up the inside of turn 1, forces MX off the road. That's always a risk with overtaking at that corner. Ghost looking to get up ahead of Jacko as well. The DRS is going to see him shoot straight past the Red Bull, who will surely come back out that AlphaTauri down towards turn 4. These guys have an incredible fight as well. Incredible fight all through this race. I'm really just starting to lose my words. I'm more or less out of drink now. I've only got a little bit left of this melted Tango Ice Blast that I have here for the moment, but it's cold, so it helps, I guess. But that's that done. So about halfway through this race at the moment. And is that Womax coming into the pit lane? It is. Into the pits then, Womax, one of the medium compound runners, into the pits then. So that releases the pack here, as Jacko now sets the, not Jacko, Ghost now sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:05. They're all kind of breaking up. I think they realise they need to work together. Let's have a look to the gap to the leader at the moment. So if Lifeboat was to come in, these guys would definitely come out ahead of him. They've all got the undercut. However, Lifeboat will be on the soft compound tyres. And of course, we also don't know when this rain is going to come into effect, if it even does. MX trying to find a way past Rick in that Red Bull, not quite finding it, down to turn 4 this time. Incredible stuff. From all these drivers, incredibly close and consistent racing from them all. What a spectacle to watch this evening, certainly. I miss my time in Tier 1 as a driver, but I don't think I'm quick enough anymore. I don't get to play the game a lot as often. I do a lot more commentating and I work a lot more now, so I don't really get the time, especially in the evenings, to play anymore. But I do enjoy the Sprint Championship, which hopefully, if we get some more drivers, will start up this Sunday. If not, then the Sprint Championship will be on hiatus until the release of next year's game, as Jackalaka and Ghost once again going wheel to wheel. These two have been inseparable from each other. Rick and MX going wheel to wheel just a bit further ahead as well. They're going to continue to go side by side. We've got to ride off board with them this time. I think MX has got the better of the Red Bull and Ghost has got the better of the Red Bull as well. So Red Bull on the attack, but currently not making up the ground they want. And Rick's got that 3-second time penalty, which he gets another. So that's going to see him up to 6 seconds, I believe, in time penalties. The track limits Grand Prix really starting to come into effect. Sippy Jimmy now with a 3-second time penalty. That's 5 of the 15 drivers. So that's a third of the grid with time penalties. And thankfully nobody has had any major incidents to see them DNF from this race thus far. And even more so, they're closing that gap to Lifebout, whose tyres must be ailing right now. But if Lifebout can perhaps make it to lap 22, I think he'll be in a good place as Rick gets past MX. Goes a little bit too deep though, which leaves the door open for MX to come right back at him down to turn 4. That's not what the youngster needed. MX has the inside. Rick will try and go the long way around. Not quite going to work. Looks to try and go underneath the Williams, but it's not quite going to work as MX covers that off. He goes up the inside of turn 6. They go wheel to wheel, but MX with the better momentum and the better line stays ahead of the Red Bull, who had to take a much tighter line to try and make that move stick. Lifebout into the pits now, so we'll see exactly where he comes out compared to these guys. I definitely think he's going to come out behind. He needs to come out ahead of Joachim and Demoniac and Slippy here. I don't think he'll get ahead of Demoniac because he's on the back of this leading train, but he should just about get out ahead of the Mercedes and the other Williams here. It's going to be tight. Let's see where he is. Look to the left of your screen. Yeah, there they are. They're just a little bit behind, so Lifebout now is going to be on the attack. He's not got far to close up, and in fact and have help with DRS as well. Meanwhile, Ghost has got his way, is fighting his way past Rick. Rick may have made a mistake or left himself vulnerable from the 4-time sprint champion, and he's got the move done. He's back into P3, and I think Rick, in the best interests of Red Bull, Rick might want to move out of the way of his teammate so Jack Alanko can get back in this fight, as Rick isn't really in it. With that 6-second time penalty, he's not helping out his teammate by sitting in front of him at the moment. Because if Jack Alanko can get some moves done on Ghost and MX, he might actually have a good chance of getting a much better result than he currently is for now. We'll wait and see what the decision is at Red Bull. But Tinnels is still out on those tyres. Incredibly consistent driver. He'll definitely be looking to go a little bit longer in this race, I think, and have some very, very fresh, soft tyres in this race. I'm very surprised that Rick hasn't yielded to his teammate. I think it would be the strategical play. The time penalty that Rick has is very detrimental to his race, and I don't think it's worth him trying to latch on. Ghost trying to find a way past MX. The door was open a little bit, but he just didn't have the run on that Williams car, and has to just sit behind for the moment. We follow them along. Look at this incredible helicopter shot coming through sector 3. This circuit is awesome. It's got overtaking. It's got twisty sections where you can run wheel to wheel. I remember in a 5-lap lobby a few days ago, I believe Lifebout and I were side by side through all but 2 of these corners, as Tinnels has come into the pit lane, put on the soft compound tyre. Lifebout says the fastest lap of the race, as he'll come out ahead of Tinnels, and is already close 2 seconds to the car ahead. But Ghost up the inside of MX then, and takes the lead of this race, but I think he'll be vulnerable again behind, and Rick still not yielding to his teammate. I think that's a huge mistake in terms of the strategical play. Because I think he'll still have the championship lead for now, as Ghost and MX are just that little bit further behind. But he'll seek to drop even further back, I believe. He'll drop down to, as it stands, probably about P6. Or perhaps it's an effort to lessen the blow of that 6-second time penalty. But it'll be at the cost of Jacalaco's race for sure. No changes for the lead down towards here. MX looking to get back at Ghost. Ghost has used a lot of ERS in battling MX. MX looking for a way through, not quite going to find it on this lap. He wasn't quite close enough at the braking zone. Lifeboat still closing in. He still remains a threat, but the longer it takes him to get close to these guys ahead of him, this chasing pack of the top four, the harder it's going to be. And actually Jacko has now got himself a 3-second time penalty, so that's not going to help his race either. Red Bull could lose some decent points here, but a Ferrari down in P9 and 10 at the moment aren't too much of a threat to the Red Bull duo this evening. Martino's closing in on Joachim in the Mercedes, could make up some good ground. Doesn't have any penalties on fresh, soft, compound tyres for the moment. As MX is looking to have, he's needing to go defensive, as Rick's trying to find a way past as well. The nose of that Red Bull car is nestled right into the diffuser of the Williams. They've got way more ERS than the two of them ahead. Oh no, Ghost has managed to somehow save up a bunch, has he? No, it was showing me Rick when I was looking at Ghost. But they've got a lot more ERS in the bank of those Red Bulls, so they'll be looking to go on the attack. But those penalties, of course, going to hamper them. But there's plenty of time left. 12 laps left in this race, which is plenty of time, of course. But we are approaching the dying stages of the race, and I have to say this race has been incredible to watch from start to finish. These guys have been absolutely inseparable. Remember back to the first opening laps of this race, 11 cars all within the DRS train, all fighting it out up and down the grid. And these five in particular, these four in particular, Ghost, MX, Rick and Jacko, have all been incredible drivers to watch. With Lifeboat still closing up, Ghost managing to keep MX at bay, a little bit of contact as Rick tries to go up the inside of MX in that Williams, still not finding a way past, but MX gets past the Ghost with the DRS, has the much better great straight line speed, far less drag on the car with the DRS wing open, and he gets right past Ghost in the AlphaTauri. It's 3 Honda cars versus a Mercedes powered Williams, and currently MX sits in the race lead for now. If it finishes as it is, MX wins this race, and I think Rick and Jacko and Demoniac drop down, and I think Lifeboat would then get himself a podium, which would be a great result for the Dutch driver, who has now closed up to Demoniac. So this is going to get interesting. The tyre life for Lifeboat is going to be much better, but it seems he's used a lot of ERS to do this, as it looks like Rick is now trying to make a move. I think Ghost made a pass on MX, which left him vulnerable to Rick as well. There's a little bit of contact. That was very close racing between the two of them. Rick looks to go on the dive again up into turn 4, switches back onto the racing line at the very last minute. That was perhaps a little bit naughty, moving in the braking zone as Lifeboat gets up ahead of Demoniac and looks to chase after the top 4 drivers, all scrobbling away. But I think Lifeboat, no matter what happens, unless he has a horrific incident, will get himself on that bottom step of the podium, because the Red Bulls have their penalties. But there is still 9 and a bit laps to go. That's only 7, 8, 9, 10 laps to go from now, I guess, as they come across the line, and it's a hard fought race. But these guys have definitely all deserve the wins this evening. We'll have to wait and see, as Rick's trying to find a way through again. MX not letting him through. MX attacking and defending. Jacalaco now getting past his teammate. Perhaps Rick has finally decided to let him go. and go on the attack. Jacko's got a lot more battery and has a much better chance of getting this. So maybe the strategy plays from Red Bull. We've got an incident in Sector 2. I think that's a slow-moving Mercedes. I think it's got back up to speed now. No crashes yet. This would be great not to have any DNFs in this Tier 1 race. The only DNF we've had was in qualifying, and that was RJ Blair, who sits just outside the points. It's a shame for him. He was running so well earlier, and he might have got caught up in some incidents. But well over half the grid now with time penalties. It's through 8 of our 15 drivers. Oh, sorry, a yawn came out of nowhere there. But yes, they have time penalties. And look who's on the back of this train now. Lifeboat on the soft tyres. So he's going to look to make things even harder as the fight for the first place between the top 4 has become one between the top 5. However, Lifeboat has got himself a time penalty, which is not going to help him at all. And now he might not even get that last place on the podium unless he fights for it, which is what he's going to have to do. But on that softer compound tyre, he's going to have a much easier time. Look at the tyre life on those mediums, definitely within the latter stages of their durability windows. So Lifebout has got it all to do here. The ball is in his court now. He's got to get past those Red Bulls if he wants to get a podium here. He could even see himself on the top step if he plays his cards right. But he's got a lot of driving to do to get that done. And the 4 drivers ahead of him are no slouches, especially the 2 in the lead. 6 championships between the 2 of them. From 2 different categories of APPF1 racing. These guys definitely proving their mettle as MX goes wheel to wheel with Ghost up the inside, and he looks like he's going to get the move. Ghost goes around the outside though, stays with him. Jackalacco, this could open the door for the Red Bull big time, but MX manages to stay ahead. Will Ghost look for a move around the outside? He has a little look but doesn't quite go for it. Jackalacco's all over the back of this as well. Lifebout seeing this happen as well. He'll be looking to try and get ahead of Rick so he can get involved in this fight for the lead as well, but not quite for the moment. No position changes between the top 5 yet. This is a great fight to watch. We'll go to the back a little bit. Hartman looking for a way around Joachim, who is not letting him past at the moment. He's making that Mercedes car as wide as possible to keep the number 67 car behind him, and RJ could get involved in this too, but with time penalties, Hartman is in a good place to finish P9 this evening. We head back to the front then, as Lifebout still sat on the back. He's running out of time here. He's got 7 laps to get this done and try and get himself on that podium. Jackalacco and Ghost chasing after MX. Ghost going up the inside for the move into turn 3. Wheel to wheel again. A little lock up from the Williams there on his front right tyre. Ghost getting all sorts of out of shape. This could open the door for Jackalacco. No DRS for both of them, which is going to hamper the AlphaTauri, who now has to go defensive and think about that Red Bull just behind him. He manages to keep him behind for now and holds station for the moment, but Jackalacco is going to be really trying to push and get as far up as possible. But those time penalties, once again, I think Ghost and MX are in a safe spot unless they get time penalties themselves. Then they really are having to race for those 2 positions. It's really a fight between Ghost and MX when you think about it, but anything can happen between now and the checkered flag at the end of lap 36. Joachim has closed up. RJ has, I think, got past both of them here. So there's a little fight brewing for P9 at the moment. Hartman's still sat ready to claim, but we go back to the front. Ghost trying to make moves again. Not quite going to do it this time. MX has seen to that. He's made sure that AlphaTauri can't make any passes. Slippy Jimmy and Demoniac having a little battle down in 6th and 7th. Looks like Demoniac's going to come back at the Williams. No DRS for both of them. They must have been too close together in a detection point, as Rick and Lifebound now go side by side. This is interesting. This is the 2 countrymen fighting amongst one another, and if it's going to slow them down from the top 3, Lifebound desperately trying to find a way past that Red Bull, who's making that car as wide as possible to make sure he keeps his kinsman behind him. but we'll wait and see how that fight develops. There's fights going on here, there and everywhere. This is a great end to what has been an incredible race. A Lifeboat is going to go down the inside of his countryman. Rick got the outside, but he's got more ERS. Lifeboat with the inside line. There's a little bit of contact, but they managed to keep it going and keep it on the road. DRS for the both of them, I think. Rick got DRS, he does, and there's a little bit of wheel banging between them as well. Ghost is now in the lead of this race, and MX is getting a little bit compromised, but Jacko still sits behind the pair, and here comes MX then around the outside. Ghost's going to force him the long way round, but he's not going to go the long way round as he gets the job done before the corner. Look at this chase cam from behind. I really like watching the battling from behind on board. You really get a sense of how fast these guys are going and how close they really are together. But Lifeboat down the inside of turn 6, he's finally ahead of his countryman. He forces him out wide and shuts the door now. Rick all over the back of that Alfa Romeo, though they've not got a lot of ERS between them. Lifeboat's really having to use everything he can to keep his fellow Dutchman behind, and he's done so for now. He's got to try and use those tyres to catch back up to the guys ahead of him as he's dropped just outside of DRS. This is all kicked off here, but he's got up ahead of Rick now, which he would have done so anyway. And Ghost gets a 3-second time penalty. That hands the lead to MX, who, if he doesn't make any mistakes, has got this race in the bag here. Any mistakes or any time penalties for MX are going to be crucial, and could see Jackalacco now get himself onto the second step of the podium. Another time penalty for Lifeboat. 3 seconds. That's not going to help him. Jackalacco and Ghost going wheel to wheel down into turn 4. Jackalacco gets up ahead. He seizes the opportunity he saw and he took it. More ERS for the Scotsman, but they're going to go wheel to wheel. Ghost around the outside. Jacko sticks it on the inside of that corner, but Ghost has the much better line through there and keeps the momentum to keep that position for now. I'm definitely out of breath. There's so much going on at the moment, but I think MX, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, keeps it on the circuit, is going to take this win because of the time penalty situation at the moment. Let's have a brief look at the race director. I'll be as quick as I can, not to miss any of the actions. Not a single warning for MX. He has to really make some errors on these final runs if he's going to get a time penalty, which I don't think is going to be possible. Well, it's always possible, but I don't think he's going to do it in quite that way. They're chasing him down then, but this is really now a fight for P2 between Ghost and Jacko, because MX has got the luxury of no penalties. A little bit of a tentative exit from Ghost there. The rear was sliding a little bit, but Lifeboat really not able to make the best use of those soft compound tyres, as I think they went off into a bad window about the time he caught up onto the back of him. He only had a couple of laps, and of course battling with Rick as well did not help his chances, and now he's got a 6-second time penalty. I should have a look at the penalty situation now. 6 for Rick, Lifeboat, Slippy and Joachim with 3 for everybody else with a penalty. That's Ghost, Jacko, Demoniac, RJ Blair, Hartman, Zidane and Ice Queen Taylor. Ghost looking for a way through. MX going defensive. He doesn't really need to defend this, as he's got this race win in the bag, it seems. If he can stay penalty free for the rest of the race. Ghost trying to keep Jacko at bay. That Scotsman is really flying out there for the moment. Tinos gets up ahead of Demoniac, who could see to benefit from a lot of these time penalties here. Could see himself shoot well up to P4, which would be an incredible job for the Ferrari. Let's see, where did he start? I believe it was down in P10. Yes, P10 for Tinos, but he'll go up 3 places perhaps. Get himself up to the P6, so a decent recovery for the Ferrari. Hartman has done a solid job as well. He's a tier 2 driver, remember, is RSRL Hartman, and he's done a great job if he can stay in the top 10, but he does have that time penalty. But Womack is considerably far behind. for that to matter too much. We go on to the final lap of this race. We go to the front then as it's all kicking off once more. Ghost gets up ahead. Jakalaka on his inside as well. It's all a mess. There's 5 cars so close to each other. They're coming down towards turn 4 now. MX is boxed in by the 2. Jakalaka in the lead of this race then. But with that penalty, is going to see him go way, way down 2 by 2 between MX and Ghost and Rick and Lifebout, as Lifebout is up ahead of him again. MX has dropped positions, but all he's got to do is not get a time penalty or have a serious incident. But Jakalaka leads them round then for the final couple of corners, and I think Jacko has got this win on track in the bag. I think it's going to stay just as it is, but MX is going to be your winner this evening. Jakalaka then comes through the final corner to take the on-track victory, but through thick and thin, for a battle that lasted from start to finish, MX comes out on top after putting it on pole and taking the win here. It's a grand slam for the Williams driver, and a great race evening of racing between everybody. Tinoz does get up into P4, an incredible recovery from him. He's managed to scrape back some points for Ferrari. Jakalaka as well, great stuff from the Red Bull getting into P2. Could have easily been a win today if not for that penalty. It's a shame the Track Limits Grand Prix had to get involved, but that is the nature of Austria. It's one of the challenges when you drive this circuit. There is so easy to get a time penalty that staying consistent is so important, and MX has managed to do it. Look, I think he still went that whole race without a single warning. He got 1 warning toward the end. 1. Great stuff. And the rain, there it is. You can just see it on the camera now. It never came into play until the final lap. Tinoz, your driver of the day, and I think I can agree with that. He's done a great job to recover from a subpar qualifying session, but MX takes a top step of the podium, rightfully so. He fought incredibly well with the 2 drivers that flank him on either side, and it's a great win for Williams then, and another win under the belt of the German-Canadian driver, who has definitely cemented himself as a force to be reckoned with. MX then is your winner this evening, with Jakalako and Ghost making up the rest of the podium. Tinoz has done had a great recovery drive to go up from P10 to P4 after the penalty situations and stay penalty free himself. Lifebout, Rick, Slippy Jimmy, Demoniac, RJ Blair and Hartman round off the top 10. A great showing for the tier 2 driver, with Womack, Zidane, Ice Cream Taylor, Joachim and Eat My Dust rounding off the rear end of the grid, with Joachim claiming the fastest lap. Well done, Joachim. We'll see if that's a lap record, possibly not, but a great job from everybody and a great race to have. What is the lap record in the races around Austria? It's held by none other than Speed Alcoholic. It's a 1 minute 4.7. Very fast from him indeed. But that is going to be it. I've got another race to commentate on in about 20 minutes time, so I'm going to get myself many beverages and make sure that I am ready to join Ghost in the commentary box over on ESRL. Check out tune into Ghost's channel if you guys would like to see it, and make sure you guys who are in the live chat and are watching the stream right now have left a like, have subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. I'll give one more shout out to our sponsor, High Dive Apparel. Please do go check them out over at highdiveapparel.com, and make sure you go and follow their social media links and everything else. But that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Thank you for all your interactions in the chat. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all the drivers for putting on an incredible race, and hopefully I will see you again next Friday when we go racing at suspense, where we will go racing in Monaco. That'll be an interesting race to behold. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Sumo, your commentator this evening, and it's been an incredible pleasure to bring you some awesome F1 commentary here over in APPF1. We will see you next week, hopefully for some Tier 1 action, and we'll see you on Tuesday as well, where Ghost will join me for Tier 2. And if you want some more F1 action, then please do come join us in about 20 to 40 minutes time for a race with the ESRL gang. But anyway, we'll see you a little bit later. Bye bye for now.